Hey guys, welcome back to Organized Chaos, Permission Granted. This is Season 2, Episode 1, and I feel like this episode is the perfect way to kick off this new era. So let's just get right into it. On the 16th, I called my mom just to catch up. Just a normal conversation, and she mentioned that my nephew was the star of his play the following week. And not only that, my amazing sister-in-law was the assistant director. And the play, my favorite childhood Disney movie, Aladdin. And without overthinking it, I literally just said, can you get me tickets to the show? If you can, I'll figure out my flights. Like, I didn't sit there and just plan it out. I didn't overanalyze, I just decided. And I was determined to make it happen. I was a little nervous because flying across country during spring break can be really pricey, especially such last-minute tickets. I looked, they were in the $2,000 and up range, so I thought there must be another way. So I kept looking and ended up finding decent flights for half the price. It was game on. And one decision led to another, and less than 9 days later, I was on a plane heading across the country to Maryland. And on day 10, I'm sitting in the audience watching my nephew shine, and let me just say, he did so good. He's in 5th grade. He had so many solos, dancing, acting, everything. He absolutely crushed it. And I'm sitting there just like, wow. And I'm here to remind you of something. Take the risk. Say yes to opportunities. Rearrange your schedule if you have to. If you believe it's possible, you will find a way to make it work. And here's where it gets wild. As soon as we booked the flights, I said to David, my hubby, I want to turn this into a travel work trip for a tax write-off. But I didn't have time to figure it out. I had errands to run with one kid, then I had to get to another kid's baseball game. I was fully in mom mode, so I released it. I let go of trying to control it. I let go of trying to figure it out. And within 1 hour of booking my flight, my best friend Christine texted me out of nowhere. And mind you, we hadn't talked in a while because she had been busy with her new job. And she goes, do you remember how much the flights were when we talked about you coming out to help me declutter my house a few months ago? And I'm just sitting there like, I literally just booked flights to the East Coast. So I told her, I'm coming next week. Let's make it happen. And during that visit, we did over 10 hours of decluttering in a 2-day window, and it was incredible. There was so much release, so much freedom, such a huge energy shift, like pure magic. Talk about magical manifesting timing. And that's what happens when you release control, trust the process, and allow things to fall into place. Things come together in ways you couldn't have planned better yourself. Magic meets you when you trust and move. And this trip had another layer to it that was really, really special. I got to have closure. I got to go back to my grandparents' house in New Jersey, and I had not been there in 3 years since my grandmother passed and since my grandpa had moved into a facility. And my mom, prior to me being there in less than 10 days, reached out to the current owners of the house. And even though they were going to be gone on vacation the day we would come visit, they were kind enough to let us come in, and the mother let us in and showed us around. They understood. My mom and I went and walked around and saw everything. It was so great to be there. I got to say goodbye. I got to feel that closure, and I got to say goodbye to my grandmother in spirit, and it felt so good. And again, this all comes back to something really important. Sometimes in life we want to do things, we feel called to do things, but if we don't ask, if we don't take action, let's be honest, things aren't just going to magically show up. Manifestation is a partnership between you and the divine. Sometimes you have to ask. I had to ask my mom to ask the current owners. Then my mom had to ask the current owners if we could come and see the house. And on the flip side, I had to ask for part of the trip to turn into a work trip, and the universe delivered. And on top of all that, I got to go to my friend's house. I got to bless her home. I got to meet her kids. I got to help get her energy flowing again. We had amazing conversations. We had focused project times. We went and got Dunkin' Donuts twice. It was fun, real, and meaningful. And yeah, I wish we lived closer, but for now, it is what it is. And it's wild to even think about this, because a year ago I met her at a Kathy Heller's retreat, and now I've traveled across the country, gone into her home, and made a massive impact. And here's something that really blew my mind. After our time decluttering, within that same week, she got 12 podcast interview requests. Her business started blossoming even more. Her creativity is bubbling even higher. Her online presence and her relationships seem to be deepening and strengthening. And that's not a coincidence. We removed so many physical and energetic blocks in just 10 hours. We decluttered 2 of her children's bedroom, her master bedroom, a never-ending Mary Poppins art closet, and a part of the downstairs storage area. And this is where I really want to talk about what I actually do, because when people ask me what I do for work, after I say I'm a full-time mom and I work part-time, I tell them I clean houses and I help people declutter and organize. And I always get the same reactions. People either say, "That's so cool," or "I really need you in my life. Tell me more." But the more I do this work, the more I realize it's not just about cleaning. It's not just about organizing. It's so much more deeper than that. It's spiritual, it's emotional, it's transformational, it's healing, it's life-changing, it's magical. I'm literally helping people break free. I'm helping them release stress, release anxiety, process emotions, letting go. I create a safe space where they feel they have permission to release things that no longer they need in their life. We don't change and shift until we feel safe to let go. My energy is so healing and transformative, I bring that to people's houses. And one way I can describe it is like this. Decluttering is like open heart surgery. You would never perform open heart surgery on yourself. You schedule it, you prepare for it, you clear your calendar, you make sure everything else in your life is handled, and then the doctor comes in and does what they do best. And that's what I do. I come in, I remove the blocks, I unplug what's not working, I reconnect the circuits so they fire and wire correctly, so the heart can function the way it's supposed to. And something clicked for me on this trip, because about 12 years ago, I was a part of a spiritual community, and people would speak prophetic words over each other, and over again, people who didn't even really know me would say things like, "I see you doing something with your hands, something healing, something unique," almost like a physician working with people's hearts. And I didn't understand it at the time, so I just took it and tucked it away. But now, looking back over the last 15 years of my life, I see it, I understand it, I finally get it. My healing doesn't look traditional, but it is healing. And I think this year is really about breaking the mold of what people think things are supposed to look like. Because yes, on the surface, my business is cleaning, decluttering, and organizing. That's the umbrella. But underneath that umbrella, I'm a coach, a guide, a healer, a therapist, a teacher, a Reiki master, an organizer, someone who holds space, someone who manages emotion, someone who walks people through deep transformation. And if I could take you inside one of my sessions, you would see it. The starting point, the process, the breaking point, the emotions, the adrenaline, the release, the high, the transformation. Because your external world is a reflection of your internal world. And when things are unprocessed internally, they show up externally. Clutter is not just stuff, it's grief, it's loss, it's childhood wounds, it's the need for approval, it's lack of love, it's identity. It's the belief that I'll be worthy when I have more. People will love me when I achieve more. I'll be valuable when I have all these things to show for it. But the truth is, happiness is internal. It's not in the stuff. Happiness is being healthy, having memories with the people you love, having a place to call home, having stability, having peace. And if you want real transformation, you have to work with someone who knows how to guide you through that. And I'm just going to say it. I feel like I'm one of the best at what I do. And if you're looking for transformation, healing, growth in your home and in your life and business, you should reach out because I am here for all of it. And clearly I'm willing to get on a plane and come to you. So this is your reminder. Say yes, trust the process, take action, release control. Manifestation is a partnership, and magic meets you when you move. If you've been waiting for a sign, if you've been looking for permission to finally get help decluttering and organizing your space, this is your permission slip, and I am here to say permission granted, signed, sealed, and delivered. I have manifested this path many years ago, becoming a decluttering expert, stepping into this work and staying committed to it, and I am so proud of myself for sticking with it. And I want to leave you with this. I release what no longer serves me with ease. My space reflects peace, clarity, and alignment. I am worthy without the need for excess things. When I take action, the universe meets me with magic. And remember, whatever you've been holding on to, whatever you've been waiting to step into, this is your reminder that your next level doesn't require perfection. It requires permission. And from me to you, permission granted. Now go out there and live your best life, because when you shine, others show up and shine also. Till next time, love you. Bye.